when you start, what the essence of nothing is helping us as actors to do is it's meant to trigger your feeling, and you go with that feeling. Okay? So when we're creating, we're working with our body, we're working with our feeling, we're working with our imagination, our creativity, our intellect, all of those things. But you don't have to hold to any of those. You move freely. So it's your improvisation, and there's no rule about it. There's only a very simple way of beginning. So I just want to show you again that if I only hold to what I start with, it won't really develop. And that's important. So Kamir, for example, the way you explained it is you were doing one thing and then you added something and it became alive. You understand? That's correct. Now, let me show you when it's not correct. Okay? That means when it's not allowing you to be free yourself. All right. So if I'm standing there, okay, and I move and I go like that. Now, I'm enjoying that. I could stay like that for quite a few minutes, but it's never going to be interesting for me or anyone else, even though I enjoy that. Okay, now let me show you the same thing, same improvisation, but this time I play with it. Okay. I'm there and I go. Okay, so there I can go on for a long time because I'm having fun. All right, so if it's okay, let's take a minute. All right, and even if you feel a bit, oh God, when's he going to stop, or when's a minute up? Keep going, and if you're not having fun or not exploring or you're not feeling creative, add a detail to it, make it come alive, or do the opposite. And then come back to the original. Okay, so if you feel stuck, there's nothing wrong with that. We always get stuck. Just play with that a little bit. Play with being stuck. Okay, let's try it again. So you're standing up and you have your shape, your arms anywhere in front of you. Okay, now what I want you to do, just standing neutral. So you're not even going to act. You're just standing as you are as a person. I want you to just change where your arms are. Not, the arms stay in front though. My apologies, Craig. Yep. So your arms stay in front. And what I want you to do is I want you to change where your arms are, but keep your arms in front. Change your position. Change your arm position, come here. And that's going to be your new starting position. Okay? So when you're ready, you'll make that movement with your arms and your knees, and you just go for it, and we'll time it about a minute. Okay, that'll go on quite a while. Okay, off you go when you're ready. I can see you all. Keep going. We'll say about another 20 seconds. Keep going. Keep going. And hold your position. Hold your position. Hold your position. And continue. and hold. Continue. Hold. And relax. Great. That looked good. So all of my work, as you know, from working with Paul Layne and also the way she works, it's really about your own creativity, you know, above everything else. What we try to do is give you a very clear instruction, very simple, clear instruction. And we do that with different exercises. And the different exercise, it challenges us, me too, Pauline too, challenges us a little different way. But the essence of nothing is the basic of everything we do as an actor or as a person discovering acting. And also what's important, what I try to help people to understand is not to get stuck with your own idea. You understand? So when I showed you, when I made that first thing here and I went like that, well, that's okay. But if I don't work with it, it doesn't really come alive. And I don't realize it, but I'm stuck. So I have to understand that getting stuck is normal. I'm going to show you another part of this exercise, because honestly, this exercise is so interesting. Even though it's so simple, it applies to everything you'll ever do. That's why Pauline and I discussed what should I do, and this really, it applies to everything in acting. Honestly, even if I do Shakespeare or I'm in a play or whatever, it's the same principle. So similar to what Pauline pointed out about this pause, what we're going to do now is the opposite, what I call the opposite principle, okay? So when I demonstrated the ones where I was having fun, you don't realize it necessarily. I don't know. Pauline, have you introduced the opposite with them?
Not with everyone. No, not properly.
Okay. Okay. So this will be proper.
Yes.
So,
thank you.
So the opposites are really potent idea for us as a person, as an artist. Okay. So let me show you again another demonstration, and I'll explain about how the opposite's going to work, and then you're going to do this. Okay. So again, my arms are just anywhere in front of me, and the arms are bent, and my fingers are not dead. Fingers are alive. Okay. So I'm just standing here, and I make one movement, right? Oh, oh, oh. So I'm doing the opposite. Yeah, whatever I imagine the opposite is. So this is one thing, and then I go, oh, and I have my energy in the front. So in my mind, the opposite is something's happening behind me. You know, you don't know it yet, but I got killed. Okay, God forbid, but I got killed. Oh, I'm dying. And then I come back to this original, and I go like that. Now I'm going to do a new opposite. Okay. I come back to this original, and then I'm going to do another opposite. I come back to the original. Okay. Now, that may not look so interesting, but the thing is that when I let go of what I was doing, and if I do the opposite, I come back and the original gets more interesting, but also I can start to create more. Okay? So that's the idea of the opposite. Now, in a way, probably you were already doing that. It's just now I'm pointing that out, that it's a really interesting thing for us as actor. If you ever get stuck, just do the opposite and come back to the original. And then do a new opposite, come back to the original. So in other words, again, even professional actors, professional clown, professional improvisers, we get stuck. And that's not the problem. The problem is to know how to get unstuck. Okay? So here I just help us to understand this is normal to get stuck. In fact, you can turn it into something fun and creative. All right, and that's the secret for improvisers. They get stuck and they turn. That's where their creativity comes alive. Right. So let's try that, and I'm going to call the opposite an original. Opposite, a new original. Now, let me just point out one more thing. An opposite can mean 1,000 different things. Okay, so it can be the opposite idea, it can be opposite feeling, it can be the opposite physicality, it can be the opposite direction, and the opposite can be 1,000 different ways. Okay, so you don't have to worry about is it a correct opposite. All right, let's try that now. So you know the basic position, arms anywhere in front of you. And you're just standing there neutral. You're not acting. Your back is straight. Your legs are straight. Not stiff, but they're straight. And it's just you standing there, breathing. And you know where your arms are. Okay? And then just, again, I want you to just change where your arms are. Change your arm position. But don't cross your arms in front, Craig. Keep the arms open. Thank you. Okay. Now, when you're ready, you're going to start with your improvisation, and I'll tell you at some point opposite. And okay, so you start when you're ready, and I'll let you go on for 10 or 15, maybe even 20 seconds with whatever you're doing. Do it however you're doing it. You don't have to worry about anything. Do the opposite. Original. Do the original. A new opposite, straight away. A new opposite, straight away, right away. New opposite. Original. Another opposite, new opposite. Original. And hold. And relax. Okay, so Hope, just to point out, the original isn't the original position, it's the original improvisation. Okay, but before the last one you were doing that. The last one you just got a little bit confused, I think.
Yeah, I got, yeah.
No worries, no worries. And again, also, as you know, with Paul Layne, one of my principles that I help with is I try to repeat exercises for people, so you don't feel like, oh, I got it wrong and that's it. No, you can do it again. If we don't do it tonight or today, whatever time you're at, you do it tomorrow or when we're done, or you do it next week. So you don't get stressed about not getting it perfect. Each time you try it, it's a good try, a good attempt. All right. And also, when we make a mistake as an artist, we clarify something. So a mistake is not bad or wrong. A mistake helps us. That's how, as an artist, we clarify things. All right. And also, it's important for me as a teacher or director that if I see something that's not exactly right, I point it out, and that gets us in communication. It's not negative.
I'm very much a beginner, but have been loving working with Paul Layne. She's a great teacher.
He is.
How do you get beyond worrying about what other people are thinking about sort of putting your mind at that sweet spot where you don't care what you're doing and can just go with the flow?
Well, the exercises are there to give each of us, myself too, and Pauline too, to give us a chance to have time with ourselves where we're committed to what we're doing at that point in the improvisation, or at that point in our imagination, or our creativity, or our exploration. We know what we're doing, and as you get practice doing that, the outside doesn't matter anymore. You can enjoy the outside. I don't mean it's negatively. It's just that what we do first is find out, what am I doing? What am I feeling? What am I exploring? And then I can have another go at it.
Okay, thank you.
Hope, did you have a question or wanted to say something? Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure the whole idea, like, so when it's original, you just go back to how you feel, but when it's the opposite, you go do something different. Like, how does that change, or how does that evolve, like, in between the two states?
Okay, so when you start an improvisation, wherever you start is fine.
Okay.
But to play with it, to find out what else can come out from you, if you do the opposite, and it's like you forget about what you were doing, don't worry about it. But then you do the original, you come back to it. So in improvisation, you don't want to just keep improvising all the time that anything goes. You want to be able to accumulate information. So in other words, it's very good if you go away from what you were doing, but the important thing is to be able to come back and do that again. And that gives you stability in your creativity. And that starts to build the story, for you. Does that answer, Hope?
Yeah, so does that mean, for example, you started from point A, so when you start to act from it, so it's developing to somewhere, maybe C or somewhere, but when it's going back to the original, you go back to like point A and you develop a different story?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And it will open your creativity up. That I can promise you. It's a very interesting principle, the opposite. Okay? And it's also teaching us to let go of what we were doing. But it's also teaching us, go back to what you were doing.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Rana, did you have a question or something you wanted to say?
No, that was fun. Thank you. Yeah, I guess with the opposite exercise, so I was trying to hold a baby and be like soft and gentle and sort of careful, and then sort of become a heavy metal singer or kick around the mosh pit. So yeah, that was fun. Thank you. Yeah, I don't really have much. Yeah.
And if you just went to the idea, like when we finish, if you go back to holding the baby like that, and you come up with 6 different opposites to that, that's what I'm getting at. That our creativity, the human creativity, is completely unlimited. And when we're improvising like this, we don't have a responsibility to anything except our own enjoyment, our pleasure, our discovery, our learning. We don't have a responsibility to an audience or even to a teacher at this point. Okay? So I would suggest that each of you maybe take one image that you had when we finish and come back to that and go away from it 6 different ways. Yeah. As different as you can. So, okay. So, Emmanuel?
Yes. It was fine. And the opposite, I was surprised of how much opposite it can be. An affinity, and it's a good thing for me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. for me, I'm really familiar with this, but it's great to see it from you. Also to have your explanation and your own way of teaching it, because we always learn, even if we already know the exercise, and usually I forget to do it. But I'm trying to do it more and more now.
I hope we'll do this again. But anyways, I'm so happy to meet you.
Yeah.
And be well, everyone. Okay, and I hope to see you again somehow.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
thank you
you
so
very
much.
much.
Thank you so much. It was fun.
The Joyful School.